We keep it real, relatable, and refreshing. So grab a seat, turn up the volume, and let's explore life together because every story matters and every lesson counts. It's June, traditionally men's month, and today is Father's Day. I know a lot of men say, oh, the women have so many days celebrating them. When will our own time come? Well, men, your day is today. And I just want to wish all men a happy Father's Day. Being a father is not an easy job. Being a father is more than biology. It's the courage to nurture, the strength to guide, and the wisdom to love without conditions. Today, we celebrate the men who chose to show up, not just in provision, but in presence, guidance, patience, and love. We see you and we appreciate and love you. Happy Father's Day. And today's episode is dedicated solely to the fathers and solely to the men, actually. And our topic today is what makes a man a father. Mm. What makes a man a father? What really does make a man a father? Is it his biological build? Is it just because he slept with a woman and they have children? Is it paying school fees or buying gifts or putting food in the house or paying for the children's education or changing your wife's car? Is it something more deeper, more sacred, more responsible about this role called father? Stay with me as we unpack the truth about fatherhood, what it is, what it isn't, and how men can step into this God given society shaping role with purpose. And of course, I'd like to hear from you too. And our phone lines and WhatsApp messages are open throughout the show. So share your thoughts on who is a father and what makes a good father on 07000 and 0915 or text us on WhatsApp on 08155917917. So what is fatherhood and what is it not? Let's start by being clear. Being a father is not just donating sperm. There are many men that can make a woman pregnant, but does that really make them a father? I think we know the answer to that from maybe our life's experiences and the stories we've heard about other people. Just having a child does not make you a father. It's not about making children and walking away. It's not simply too, some people will say, oh, yes, I do the things that I'm supposed to do in the house. I buy the, food. I pay for school fees. I provide shelter. I provide for everything. Is it just about that? Can we just say that's all fatherhood is about? And it's not even controlling or intimidating or emotionally distancing yourself from your family to command respect. So maybe someone says, to be the father of the house, you have to put some distance between you and the people that you're leading, that you're fathering, so that they will know that, it's not a position, it's not a title, it's not just a title, it's not just a position. Fatherhood is much, much deeper than that. A father is present. It means presence. It means nurturing. It means correcting and also encouraging. And it means being there, listening, sacrificing, and also leading by example. And I'll give you practical examples today so that we'll know what I'm talking about. So, my practical example one, we'll look at Daniel, a rich man, a comfortable man by many standards, good provider, paying his fees, upkeep for the house, even after, and they had a good marriage and some sort, is the marriage broke up. And even after the marriage broke down, he was still providing all that his children needed. But then he started a new relationship and a new family, and he diverted all his attention on them, ensuring that they had the best of life he could afford, while his older children managed with the monies he remembered to send their way. That's one example of Daniel. And then there's Tunde, who is a hard worker, conscientious and responsible, at least in the earlier years of his marriage, until he started earning the millions. And as is often the case, with money came temptations and he fell hard. He who had been taking care of his family with little couldn't take care of them with much. And so he left it to his wife to put food on the table, borrowed from her to pay school fees and the house rent through it all. And his wife covered for him as women are wont to. Though he remained close to his children, because of course the wife did not expose her husband like women are wont to, you know, he was meeting their emotional needs, but not their financial needs. That's another example. And then there's Charles. Charles walked away from his marriage. He buys his children expensive toys and gadgets and gives them the freedoms they don't enjoy at home when they spend holidays with him. But he never pays for the essentials. He never pays for the school fees. He doesn't pay for rent. He's not even emotional available. But when he's there, he buys them, maybe the iPhone 16. He just spends lavishly on them just to let them know and to curry their favor. That's Charles. And then there's Jerome, who is determined not to be like his deadbeat father. So he pays all his financial obligations, but finds it difficult to connect emotionally with his children because, as far as he's concerned, he's their father, he's not their friend. So that's Jerome. And then there's the last person, who is, I would say, Bayo, a mechanic from Lagos who works 12 hours days, but every evening, no matter how tired he is, he helps his son with homework. He's not rich, but that boy knows my daddy sees me, he cares for me. Out of all the examples I've given, which one do you think is what fatherhood is all about? Or which one do you think is a good father? Is it the one, Daniel, that, pays and does all the things he needs to do? Or is it Tunde, that is emotionally available for his children, but is not financially providing for them? Or is it Charles, who splurges on his children, buys them expensive things, but is not there? Or is it Jerome, who, as far as is concerned, is not his children's friend, but is their father? Or Bayo, who, in spite of his schedule, sits with his son and helps him out? I'd like you to think about that and ask yourself the question, which one of them is the good father? I actually think it's a mixture of all, you know. But can we always have the mixture of all of them in one person? Because a good father is a nurturer, like I said, he's a provider, he's an encourager, he is a friend, to his children. So I think the long and short of it, is that fatherhood is not all about money. And I think that's where a lot of men get it wrong. Our fathers, provided for us. They were very diligent in their provision for their children, but they didn't know us. They weren't mostly emotionally attached or available towards us. So I think I want to define fatherhood as a relationship, not just a responsibility. It's not just a title, it's not just a position, it's not just a duty, but it's a relationship. And I think that's the way most men should look at it. When you're in a relationship with someone, you want to provide for them. You want them to know you. You want to be there for them. You want them to respect you. Of course, respect will come through, but it must all be born not out of duty, out of a coercion, but a relationship. So, what is fatherhood? I said it already, that we all know that the singular act of sex does not make a man a father. I think fatherhood is a huge responsibility. that starts long before a child is born and ends when one dies. Just like motherhood, it's parenting actually is all about once you get that child, you're there for life until you die. It's about being a provider, a support, a teacher, a protector, and a cheerleader to the people who bear your surname and your lineage. Now, as I was describing that, it was almost like the definition of a mother. But really, I don't think that the rules or the duties or the job description differs. It's been a mistake to think, oh, a mother has more to do with the child than the father. Yes, when the children are very young, maybe when they need to be breastfed, when they need to circle, she's there, always there. She comes in more, but the roles are the same. And because we're different genders, we'll interpret those roles in different ways, but they are the same. A good father is a man who cares deeply about his children and shows it. A lot of men care deeply about their children, but hardly do they show it. They think being vulnerable would help them to lose, will make them lose their respect. But it really isn't so. He's a man who fulfills his responsibilities both to his children and to their mother. And is a man who is a role model for his female and male children. It's a proven fact that our fathers not only influence us, but our relationships with other men. Daughters tend to choose partners who remind them positively or negatively of their fathers. And sons aspire to be or not to be like their fathers, depending on that relationship, on their relationships with them. You know, there was a story I heard about a man who was a drunkard and he had two sons. And when they grew up, one was a drunkard, just like his father, and the other was a teetotaler, totally abstinence from alcohol. And when they asked them, the first one said, "Look at my father and look at me," the one that was a drunkard. He said, "I'm my father's child, and because my father, I had no choice to be who he was." And the other one who abstained from alcohol said, "Just look at my father. You won't want to be like my father. I don't want to be like my father." So whether it's good or bad, we should know that fatherhood means influence on our children. And our children depend on their fathers for stability, for security in their lives. And if a father, for me, if they will say, what would you liken a father to be as an inanimate object? I will say an anchor. The anchor is always underneath the water, beneath the waters, deep down on the bed, on the seabed, but it has a rope that's tethering all the way to the ship. Nobody sees the anchor, but the anchor is there, always doing its job of steering the ship, making sure that it stays, near the harbor, making sure that it's not blown around by the waves, making sure that it's steady. And I think that's what, if you would ask me how I would liken a father to an inanimate object, I would choose an anchor any day, anytime. What would you liken a father to? What inanimate object would you, my listener, liken a father to? So, what makes a father a good? What makes a man a good father? That's our topic today. I just gave a bit of an introduction. I'll break it down into five timeless principles. First, presence. It's very, very amazing, and it's a shame the way men have been taught to parent. They've been taught to parent and told that, oh, all that the children need is their gifts. But no, it's not that. The children need the presence as much as they need the mother's presence. We all know that, or we've all heard that children spell love as Time. So the time that a man gives is different, totally different from the kind of time a woman would give. it forms strongest memories. I have memories of time spent with my father. My father used to take us abroad every summer, and we just went with him without my mother there. It was just our time away, together. And even not abroad, I remember going to Jos with my father, and we went with the this orphanage. I've forgotten the name now. Motherless babies home. Yes, we went. My father was heading a Rotary club then, and then we went. We took them to Jos, and we went by train. And it was on that trip that my father taught me how to play. I think was it Ludo or one of those games. I remember vividly that we were crossing the River Niger. We were eating pounded yam and egusi. That was when Nigeria was so good. This was in the 80s and early 80s. And we were playing games. We stayed in John's for 2 weeks. I have beautiful memories about that time, and also all the other times that we traveled, just us and him. And it was, we didn't live with him, but those times, created good memories for me. So it's not about buying things. It's not about your wallet, really. It's about how long and how much of time do you keep and give to your children. I remember also that my father taught me how to cook rice. He was a very good cook, and he used to have dinners, in his house. And of course, we didn't like going for those dinners because we cleaned up afterwards. But he taught me how to use the cutlery, taught me how to cook rice that was not soggy, taught me how to make ogi, taught me so many things, you know, because he made time out. So presence over presence, very, very important. Then two, emotional availability. Strong fathers hug their children. Strong fathers tell their sons it's okay to cry. They listen to their daughters without dismissing them. They're emotionally available to the children. They want to hear their stories. They want to hear what's wrong with them. They want to, they're just there. And when these children find that connection with you, really, really, your job is done. Is done. It takes a while, in their growing up, and it's better done when they're growing, not when they're adults. But once you get that connection with your child, it's for life. It's for life. It's not something that would come up later. And I think a lot of men um um have that on think of that, especially when you're separated from your wife or you have issues. They think, oh, and a lot of people say it, oh, the children, they'll come back now. The children will come back. They will come back, don't worry. They will look for me, you know and yeah, they may look for you. In fact, not they may, they will look for you. They will look for you. And sometimes they will even sneak behind their mothers to receive favors from you, mainly because you want to curry their favor, and mainly because children are selfish, especially when they are teenage years. But it will be only for a while until they discover what they've heard, what they've seen, the impressions that they have, and then they will make up their minds about who you are. So basically, it's not, yes, don't worry, I will be an absent father all through their growing up stage. And then when they need me, they will come. It's not always so good. It's not always perfect. It's not always the best way. You're not going to get anything from it if you have that kind of understanding that, oh, I don't have to be in the children's lives, but they will look for me. So, number three, so emotional availability was number two. Number three is consistent discipline with love. There's a need for discipline. And it's amazing to me, being a mother, that a father disciplines better. And that's just the truth of it. When your children are saying all sorts and they're being naughty, and you say, okay, I'll tell daddy when he comes. He does magic. Or when daddy is around and mommy says, go and pick your shoe, and you don't. I know the reasons why anyway, and you don't, the child doesn't answer, and you say, go and pick your shoe. You're raising your voice. The child knows when you are going to be serious is when you've said it maybe like 6 times, and so the child is waiting for you to get to number 6. But you think, because the child has seen that mommy really doesn't mean her words until she starts to shout, until she gets to a pitch. But for daddy is consistently incisive. He means it. Once he says, go and pick that shoe, the child runs. And that's what a child needs. That's the part a father plays. Consistent discipline. Our fathers played that a lot. But I don't think they put the love there. So I'm putting the love there today. Correction is needed for the child, but it must be laced with love and explanation, not fear. The children must know that yes, you're being corrected and you're being disciplined, but it's with love. And then modeling integrity. A father teaches so many things, same as a mother. Like I said earlier, the roles are can be switched between the genders. Is the way they bring it out, is the way they interpret the roles, is the way they play out these roles that really differs. And that's because we're different genders and we're different people. But the same role that a mother has towards a child is the same role that a father has towards his child. And that's just the truth. And so I like to tell us mothers, especially the mothers, that sometimes we feel that a woman has more claim on the child because she bore the child. But it's not the truth. Let's stop that fallacy. It's not the truth. It's an equal joint, act of bringing this child to life. You can't bring a child to life without a father. A father can't bring a child to life without a mother. So we both have equal responsibility, equal rules, and we should have equal access to the children. So don't think, oh, because you have the child, you bought the child feeds off you, the child lives in you, yeah, and feeds off you. And even when the child comes out, feeds off you, that you are more important than the father. No, because you never could have that child without a father. And there's a part that the father plays in a child's life. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I just see a lot of women, think that they lay claim to the child, and it shouldn't be so. And so especially when there's a fight between the couple, the woman takes the child and says, no, 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 it's my child, it's my child, it's my child. And so a lot of times, I'm not saying that there are not men that will just sit back, but a lot of times the men get um cut out of the lives of their children. And I can tell you that for free, that there's a part a woman plays, there's a part a mother plays in the life of the child, and there is definitely a part that a father plays in the life of the child. And the roles cannot be switched. The roles cannot be switched. And then also, the fifth, I don't know whether I was speaking to somebody there, but I went a bit out, of course. But the fifth way, of being of what makes a good father to me is unconditional love. Whether your child passes or fails, behaves well or falls short, they must never doubt that you love them. They must never doubt that you have accepted them. Acceptance is very key, and is very key when it comes from a father. A mother is more likely to accept her children, because, of course, they were in our bodies before they came. And so it's when the child comes out of the mother's body that the father's role kicks in, more or less. The father's active role kicks in, more or less. And that's when the child starts to know who this father is, and what he's all about. Acceptance is key. The child gets their names, they get their lineage, they get their identity, so to speak, from their fathers. We're not identified through our mothers most times. We're identified through our fathers. We bear our fathers' names. They tell us, oh, this Omo Lagbaja, Omo this. So the child's acceptance is tied, acceptance of who they are, acceptance of the person that they are, acceptance of the person that they would be is tied to their father. And it's very, very important that we know that. I heard of a story of a man who lost his job. I'm talking about unconditional love and acceptance. And the part that a father plays in the life of a child, whether it's a female or a male child. The man had lost his job, his job, and he told his teenage son, "We're going through a hard time, but as long as I live, you will not sleep hungry." The son is now an engineer, and he says, "My father taught me never to give up." That's fatherhood in action. When you can relate with your child, when you have that emotional connection with your child, and when you love that child, and the child not only knows that you love the child, but the child feels that love, which is very important. So now over to you, dear listeners. What does fatherhood mean to you? Who was or is a father figure in your life, and why? And what do you think makes a man a good father? We'd love to hear from you. And our lines are 07000 And you can text or WhatsApp us on 08155 917 917. I'll take that again. 08155 917 917. Okay. I would read a message from Mr. Chinedu, who says his uncle was the best father figure because he taught him patience. And Blessing says, a good father to me is one who teaches by living right, not just preaching right. Beautiful. I like that. Someone who teaches by his actions and not just by his words. And we know that children, they see and they take in what we say, what we do, much, much more than what we say. So I'd like to pose some questions because, of course, this is Life with Tara, and we talk about the things that people don't talk about. So, can a child survive without a father? Of course, yes. As surely as a child can survive without a mother's love, so can he or she survive without the father's presence. However, the word is survival, not thrive, because it is possible to survive, but very possible not to thrive. For it's possible to look good on the outside whilst one is damaged in the inside. And I make bold to say that the absence of a father's presence in every child's life leaves a bit of damage to their psyche, to their esteem, and to their self worth. You can argue with your keyboards on that, but it is my opinion that a child needs a father. And so when you talk about, there's a raging controversy about surrogacy, about IVF, about women thinking that, oh, I'm getting older, I need a child, there's no man ready to marry me, let me just do the IVF, let me do the surrogacy, let me adopt, and then I'll have a child I can call my own. I don't have any problems with that, but I do know that a child needs a father. A child needs the presence of a man in their lives, whether they're male, whether they're female, it doesn't matter. We need parents, mother and father in our lives. How you're going to walk that lane, I don't know, but that's the truth. Okay, so let me ask another question. I want to be the devil's advocate on this show today. Can a bad husband be a good father? Who wants to answer that question? Call us on 0700917. Yeah. Can a bad husband be a good father? Mm, mm, mm. It's true that if a man loves his wife, he tends to be a good father, but it's not sacrosanct that for a man to be a good father, he must be a good husband. Because some marriages just aren't going to work out. And it doesn't mean that the man is going to forsake his children because his marriage didn't work out. Relationships sometimes sadly come to an end because of many factors. It doesn't have anything, might not even have anything to do with the man himself, you know. And the thing about it is that it need not impact the relationship the parents have with their children, least of all that of a father with a child. I know men that have been left holding their babies when their marriage fell apart, or men that, the woman walked out without and left the child behind. I There are quite a number. I'm sure if you think about it, you will know one or two or three or four women that it's rare, but they're quite there's a number of it. It's not they're in the minority, let me say. It's not rare. They're in the minority. So what happens? The marriage is ended. The man maybe was not a good husband, but he's a good father. I know people that have said that, oh, when their mothers died or where their parents got divorced, their father took care of them. So a man can be a bad husband, but be a good father. And again, you can argue with your keyboard on that. this this is life with Tara. you know, the key to remember though is that the ill health or death of a marriage need not affect the children so as to destroy the parental relationships. Will a child always come looking for a father? I'd mentioned that before, but I can say it again, for those just listening to us. There's this fallacy that a lot of men have that, oh, I can work out. The child will come and look for me. When the child wants to get married, they will ask her, where are your fathers? Where are the father's people? But the truth about it is that it is true. Why do children go after their absent fathers, mothers? Because they need a sense of identity. They have a sense of identity. They need to know who this person is. Why do adopted children go out looking for their birth parents? Because they want to know, they need to know, have that root that steadies them. So they will come, they will look, and then they will make up their minds when they meet you as to what kind of father you are. So it's not, it doesn't mean that they won't come. It doesn't mean that you will be able to have a relationship with them when they're much older. If they do have a relationship with you, it will be strictly out of obligations, maybe because they have religious leanings, or they think, oh yes, I should respect and honor the father that said me, but not because of a relationship. And men need to understand that, you know, fatherhood is just like mother would have said, it's a difficult job. And I agree with men that they are a bit worse off because women seem to know what to do instinctively, and fare better at bonding with the child because, of course, the child stayed in them. They breastfeed, they are the primary caregivers for children. But thankfully, society is beginning to recognize and encourage the important roles that fathers play in shaping the child. And, I recently followed a thread on Twitter that asked followers to comment on how they knew that they were loved at home. And a lot of the female ladies that commented, they didn't talk about their mothers, they talked about their fathers. And it was so heartwarming. One said her father will wait for her when she started work. No matter the time that she came home, he will wait. And he wasn't waiting to look at the watch and say, why did you come? Don't you know that I have curfew at home, and you must be home by 7. Was waiting to find out how her day went, hope she was all right. There was no mention at all of their historical role of being a provider. Instead, they spoke about how their fathers were supportive. One said, her father, she came late after a city-wide traffic lockdown to find her father by the gate waiting for her. One talked about the father confronting the class bully when she was in primary school. One talked about how he visited during, um, even when she was in university, bringing food and provisions. A lot of them just talked about the little, little things that showed that they cared. It wasn't the money at all. They didn't talk about how their father bought them this, how their father bought, but how we took out time, to look after them, to cater for their emotional needs mostly. Emotional needs mostly. How it took them out. I've given examples of my father, how he taught me how to use the cutlery, how he traveled with me, how he just took us out for lunch or for dinner sometimes. Those are the things that would stick with the child for life. If it's school fees, my dear, I will tell you that when my father used to complain about school fees or whatever, I used to say, but you had me. It's your obligation, it's your duty to pay school fees. And that's what children will say when you talk about school fees. Will you be the first person to pay for the school fees? No, it's just the kind of fees that might differ, but that's the obligation. That's normal. It's almost like normal. It's the normal thing to do. Then you are not going to get any awards for paying school fees, so to speak, because that's what you ought to do. But sitting with a child, knowing that child, being emotionally connected with that child, that will give you your flowers. That will give you your award. That will help, to cement that relationship with you have with your child. And then when you grow older, the child is not favoring their mothers over you. The child is not, when they have children and they want to omugo, the child is saying, okay, mommy and daddy are coming together, not only mommy. It's the emotions, it's the connection, it's the relationship that makes a man a father, not his money. So if you're a man and you're listening, and you're a father or a father to be listening, there are simple but powerful tips to help you become the father your child deserves. Because a lot of men are intimidated. They don't even know where to start from. And like I said earlier, I must give a warning to women. Please let your men help out. Please don't shove them off. Please let them do all the things that they need to do with their children so that they can bond. Don't censor them. Don't say, oh, this is what you can do for the child. So far, the child is not into any harm. And of course, I will not encourage abuse or whatever, but let him play an active role in that child's life. Don't force him out of the child. Don't tell him, oh no, men don't do this for children. Let him take care of his children. Let him have that bond with them. So how can you? What tip is it? What tip am I going to give you for the man that wants to become a better father? One, start small. If your children have grown, maybe in their preteens and or teenage years, and you're at that stage, then you have to start small. You can't just immediately rush them. They're not going to agree because there's some history, there's some background. But start small. A smile, a hug, bedtime stories. They might be small to you, but they are definitely not small to a child. The interest. How was school today? What happened to you? Just take an interest in their lives. When a child says they are stressed, we always laugh as adults and say, what's stressing you? You're not paying bills, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. But we often forget that The child's life is the child's life. They're not living our lives, they're living their lives. And there's stress in their own lives. It might not be stress to us that somebody did not sit near them during break time, or somebody kicked them, but it's their world, it's their stress. And so we must actively be involved in their stress so that they would understand that we do care about them. So start small, enter into their world. Don't sit on your coveted title and say, I'm the father, I'm the leader, they should come to me. No, you go to them. You go to that child. It's your duty, it's your responsibility actually to make the relationship. It's not the child's responsibility to forge a relationship. It's the responsibility of the adult to forge that relationship. Number two, be vulnerable. Our children don't think that we were children once. So they think we don't understand the things that they're going through. But if you, as a father, are going to sit down, share your fears, your stories, your mistakes, it's going to go a long way in helping your child identify and relate with you. Because your child just sees you, daddy was a boy too, like me, or daddy, yeah. So the child is like, okay, it's not just that big person, that muscular person, that important person. It was like me at one time. And that makes that connection easier. The third tip: listen first, speak second. Don't rush to correct. Listen to their word. I said that, and I would continue to emphasize it. Listen to them. We're adults, it's a fast-paced world. We're filled with all sorts of, and especially men. I feel so sorry for men. They for the ones that really want to do this fatherhood thing. You have so many constraints, so many pressures. But for a child, you have to slow down. You have to listen. You have to be like a child again to get them to open up to you. Then invest in yourself. Read books. The books on parenting are not only for women. The seminars on parenting are not only for women. The PTA meetings are not only for women. They're for men too. It has nothing to do with women. It's men. Please, so read, invest in parenting, read, ask questions, join groups. A better man makes a better father. And you must look for that information. If you're going to Google or whatever, what can I do? Don't leave it all to we women. Please, 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 forge your men listening to me, forge your relationship with your children. You don't have to go through your wife to do that. Don't leave it to the woman to explain your actions, to explain who you are. No, go ahead straight to your children, explain yourself, explain your actions, give them a sense of who you are, who you are, where you're coming from, your traditions. Please, please, please don't leave the narrative to the woman to help you to be a father. No. Invest in yourself, and I'm sure that you will do great. And then be there always. Just show up. Always show up. Don't let her lift the heavy load too much by herself. Show up at that PTA. Show up if you're not able to do school runs, for example. Even if you have a school bus service, one day just show up in the school and say, oh, I'm here to pick the child, or drop them off. You'll be surprised. And that's one of the reasons why children are so close to their mothers when they pick them up. When they're coming from school, they're ready to talk, they're ready to say things. You see their mood. You can even just look at them and just quietly look at them on the playground, before they even realize you've come to pick them. You see a different side of your child, and it will help you know them better. So always be there in their success, in their failures, in their joys, in their sadness, even in the ordinary details of their lives. Always show up. So I hope those tips are good, and hope that the men listening to me are going to take those tips and work on them. I'll be closing, and all I want to say is that fatherhood, just like motherhood, is a difficult job, and men are worse off. I agree, because mothers seem to know what to do instinctively. But then it doesn't mean that you can't learn. You must try. You must put up your work to know what you are doing. So I've talked about what makes a man a good father, but I'm going to now talk about and celebrate the men, that are good fathers, because there's so many men doing good by their children increasingly, and it's a very, very warm sight. And it's only right that they're celebrated every day and not just on special days like today, Father's Day. So, to every man who sacrifices so his children can get the best of everything he wasn't able to get, or get more than he got growing up. To that father who stays in that shitty, thankless job so he can provide for his family. To that father who has done all kinds of jobs, working from dawn to dusk to bring home the bacon, no matter how small. To that father who is proud of having just daughters, or a special needs child, or to that father, or that father who is proud of having just sons, or whatever gender that he has. To that father who attends PTA and is not afraid to be the only man amongst women in school events. To that father who is trying to depart from the bad examples he was shown and who is not afraid to support his children publicly. To that father who fights so hard to have access to his children after a failed marriage. To that father who is fathering children born under his house but are not his blood and flesh. Not because his wife cheated. I say thank you and happy Father's Day. As we close today's heartfelt discussion, I leave you with this thought, with these thoughts. A man becomes a father not by creating life, but by nurturing it. And it's not the muscles in his arms, but the strength of his character that his children will remember. It's not the size of his wallet, but the size of his heart that will shape generations. Happy Father's Day to all the real fathers out there. We see you. We honor you on Life with Tara and Women Radio 91.7. We need more of you, so bring more of you into that group. May you reap the fruits of the seed sown in the lives of your children, and may they in turn make you proud, celebrate, and honor you all their lives. Until next week, Sunday at 1 p.m. on Women Radio 91.7. It's your girl Tara on Life with Tara saying bye. Have a lovely week and see you next week. Bye.
The Women Radio membership, they connect you with other market women, the ones wey get their own business, students o, women wey dey stay house, even farmers and pensioners for the 36 states of Nigeria. As a Women Radio member, we go dey promote your business for radio. You fit win better prizes and you fit even come our event. Just go download the Women Radio app today, make you hear yourself for radio. You fit go register free on top wfm917.com and make sure say you join the Facebook Women Radio membership group. The Women Radio membership gets support from MacArthur Foundation and Nigeria Media Innovation Program, NAMI.
Oh, I swear. Oh my baby, oh I swear, no be me go leave you, yeah. Even if I want to, I can't. Oh, oh my girl, oh my baby, oh I swear, no be me go leave you, yeah. Even if I want to, I can't. If I could love you, would you love me back? Would you love me too? Would you love me back? I'ma get right. If I could love you, would you love me back? Yeah. Would you love me too? Would you love me back?
My head is spinning it. I know they like when you judge me infinity. I got my hands in the air to the ceiling. I blow my eyes, you can ask your city. Pepper them down, you know that we chilly chilly. and I'm loving the life I'm living in. Come be my plus one, don't be silly. But if you say that you ain't feeling me, sharp, 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 I exit the building. Touch up on your knees and toes, choke all your friends and fools. Tell me all your do's and don'ts. Are you into pills and boo? Ocean, heavy on this floor. Can I take a deep dive in the ocean? And I'm pretty damn sure you all on my tongue.
If I could love you, would you love me back? Would you love me too? Would you love me back? Oh, get out. If I could love you, would you love me back? Yeah. Would you love me too? Would you love me back? Oh. See, I just wanna look at you spinning it. Baby got no rules when she's spinning it. Oh no, when you come around and I'm feeling it, never ever stop spinning in it. Oh, see, I just wanna look at you. Me, I want to lose myself. When I get juice, I don't spill. But she said,
the best way to find out is when I look away. Oh my baby, oh my days, I'm okay. Would you love me already?
if I could love you, if I could love you, yeah. If I could love you, yeah. Baby, would you love me? If I could love you, yeah. If I could love you.
Women Radio 91.7, breaking the culture of silence.
I tell my body make it dance to my baby. Say, horrible look big. No body I they find in a lady, no. With him I delay. As long as say my pick up, no pick up now, yo. Oh, lily. Anytime I go show my baby off. Go sagepe. Baby make you way, make her mad. I am a love visa. Baby I don't wanna do too much. So anything you want, I preserve. Yeah, you go, take my card. Baby, run and baby, nah. I keep it up anytime we go down. Show my baby good life, oh. Make I be your Joseph, knock you like carpenter. Make I be your Clyde, make me right to the guy. Be like say tomato, so I like potato. We link up beside Soweto. Black girl magic. Dance to my baby, oh, black you look big. Oh, the color I don't find in a lady, oh, with him I delay. As long as say my pick up, no pick up now, yo. Oh, lily. Anytime I go show my baby off, go sagepe. Baby make you way, make her mad. I am a love visa. Baby I don't wanna do too much. So anything you want, I preserve. Yeah, you go, take my card. Baby, run and baby, nah. I keep it up anytime we go down. Show my baby good life, oh. Make I be your Joseph, knock you like carpenter. Make I be your Clyde, make me right to the ground. Be like say tomato, so I like potato. We link up beside Soweto. Black girl magic. Shabba about you done. Shabba about you done. Shabba about you done.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I don't wanna wait for nobody.
Keep it locked.
I should have bought you flowers.
Turn your radio up.
Held your hand.
We are WFM 91.7.
I know feel like you, baby. For this life, I go love you daily. You be my fall Sade, baby. My fall Sade, baby. It all on me steady. So long we done the wedding. You be my fall Sade, baby. My fall Sade, baby. I cannot deny it.
I'm biased. You're like what David did to Goliath. Got me falling for all the little things. And little things start fires. Have I told you in me at Iwo? Yeah, I've said it before. Every time I'm with you, I feel like I'm 20 feet tall. The feeling of finding the missing jigsaw. That little piece that fits the picture. Tell me what it feel like. Tell me what it feel like. Real cake, real dough. How it feel to be a real pie. Yeah, you know you a real pie. No, they do like you know, baby. Occasionally, I just step out of line. Show me another dance that ain't one step at a time. Wait till you carry for behind, it's hard to leave it behind. I mean, love like this is hard to find. But you know, I know feel like you, baby. For this life, I go love you daily. You be my fall out Sade, baby. My fall out Sade, baby. Put it all on me steady. So long we done been ready. You be my fall out Sade, baby. I fall out Sade, baby. Standing by the shore now, permission to dive in. Used to think real love is just about providing. It's in my nature, you see. It's the Nigerian in me. You would ask for presents. I'm thinking the one with receipts, never ending lessons. Now I'm fluent emotionally. You still haven't answered this question for me. Tell me what it feel like. Tell me what it feel like. Real cake, real dough. How it feel to be a real pie. Yeah, you know you a real pie. No, they do like you know, baby. I see the sweat dripping off your body tonight. And when it hits your waist, you turn that water to wine. You're my Sade, and even though this isn't a crime, you'll be wanted for life. I know feel like you, baby. For this life, I go love you daily. You be my fall out Sade, baby. My fall out Sade, baby. Put it all on me steady. So long we done been waiting. You be my fall out Sade, baby. My fall out Sade, baby. Yeah, but you know that. Fall out Sade, baby. What ways can I say? So let me rise.
For wholesome music that can heat up your day, stay tuned to WFM 91.7.
Conde boy, they come, now you they make me sit down, they sing this song. Gala, gala, you come to make me feel like I do you wrong. Jaga, jaga, if you want time, I go give you more. Jara, jara, today, you go give me love. Sawa, sawa, that's if you walk on my best, now my do. One paka, one anita. Esa, when a boy, Tatakila say, one paka, one anita. Esa, that's if you walk on my best, now my do. One paka, one anita. Esa, when the boy, Tatakila say, one paka, one anita.
Adekaburu kwa Mandela, rudi kwa bibi Kinondoni, ambalulu kujadela, mwanangu Gigi simuoni, aje ainama. Mama, ainuka, baby shut down, ainama. Hey, 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 onyesha ulivyofunzwa, ainama. Go down, baby, ainuka. Give it to them, baby, ainama. Hey, hey, ruksa kutunza, so sura so shepu, mini kimona tabani. Hivi sinura sepetu, ama nimwite jina gani? Baby gaya badikila, mwendo kama katapila, miguu ya pombe tequila. She the best in my mind. Pamutu bakongo kabila, madongo lunyamila. And she's so sweet, vanilla. She the best in my mind. Oh, oh, oh. Nobody sexy like my baby. Tena mwepese kyo kwa bedi. Adekaburu kwa Mandela, rudi kwa bibi Kinondoni, ambalulu kujadela, mwanangu Gigi simuoni, aje ainama. Mama, ainuka, baby shut down, ainama. Hey, 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 onyesha ulivyofunzwa, ainama. Go down, baby, ainuka. Give it to them, baby, ainama. Hey, hey, ruksa kutunza.
Oh, you got them, soto nyaukoli. Anavimacho mlegezo gololi. Katika game, funga tu goli. Atumaliza kimchezo kai goli.
Kirima, Kirima, baby Kirima. Kisima, kisima, naingia kisima, nizame mpaka chini. Ebo, yani katoto kachafu kama baka. Na mina kafanya ndafu na kalata. Salamu zende kwa Wanjara, doni masha kitasa kwenye bonyeru. Wambie Simba kacharara, anataka msambwanda kwa Bukujeru. Aje, ainama, mama, ainuka, baby short down, ainama. Hey, 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 onyesha ulivyofunzwa. Ainama, go down baby, ainuka, give it to them baby, ainama. Hey, hey, ruksa kutunza.
That's if you walk on my pants na madem. Wanapaka mapaka wananita esa. When a boy tatakila se. Wanapaka mapaka wananita esa.
That's if you go on my pants na madem. Wanapaka mapaka wananita. Simba mabishoni tashe vile madem zao na wakita.
WFM. Hey, movement to inspire and to break the culture of silence. Here is 91.7, the voice of women, the voice of women, the voice of women. 91.7, the voice of women, the voice of women. The voice of women, 91.7 WFM, 91.7.
Jiggy, no, number one on my bucket list. I see me and you for the family tree. Who is in the garden, can I come and see you, I know you dey beg sometimes, cause I don't keep you timing, but you know I did try, can I come and see you, I don't ever change for nobody, but you dey making me do many things I never do. So I go need some time and some patience. All I know do they feel like I do overdo. And you know that edge is just a number. But I no go let that one come to body you. But I go need some time and some patience. And I feel bad you don't see my effort. All the way, all the way, all the way. When I'm moving, I go all the way, all the way. All the way, all the way, all the way. All the way. Let me not do. I don't my therapy, my tomato. So mommy, baby, may we do the collabo. My head is swelly when you do the falsetto. Oh yeah, do the falsetto. Tinini tanana, winnie banana. Only me and you, no go turn into a carnival. Family and friends, my luck don't see no matter. My luck don't see no matter. I don't ever change for nobody, but you they making me do many things I never do. So I go need some time and some patience. All I know do they feel like I do overdo. And you know that edge is just a number. I don't go let that one come to body you. But I go need some time and some patience. And I feel bad you don't see my effort. All the way, all the way, all the way. All the way, 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 all the way.
WFM 91.7 Only ndị ụmụ nwanyị na ndị be ha.
Only for dancer killer. I think about music rocket launcher. Yeah.
Deep under the sea, deep under the ocean, waiting I don't see. I don't feel to mention. Mommy tell me, my boy take caution. I'm on Ilaya. When I'm ready, no butter. Biggie and I'm a bouncer. When I'm ready, no butter. slim say I'm a dancer. Putting be the matter, loco coco. When I get the money, I say coco coco. Thanks to my mommy, loco coco. When I get the money, give her loco coco. Tell me shake, I am my shame, call me baby. Kirite mi she kaye ma she mi kori mi baby oh
As I enjoy this morning, me and my mommy, she like mama going. You don't say when you guys are sorry. Oh no time, let me buy no more. Oh let it go. You don't mind, we don't sign. You always try to tell me don't mind. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Papa mi ò buwọ́ lé. You no fit tell me say I know nothing. Odo ti ro wọ́n lé mú náà dé. We go dey think say na normal thing. Mo ké, àti mo délé. Mom sì ṣàfọlẹ̀ ó fọṣọ lóru. Popsi, we dey forever. Mom sì like say we don go America. Cash road to the cash, ṣòkì ṣálógbọ́n mọ̀ lóko jáde nínú trenches. Ọmọ no be jagbajanti, say hello baby tó bá rí mi nínú Bentley.
I fly over my one Port Harcourt. Me and my lady, we dey